Get ready to turn up the excitement at your next event with the Perfect Choice Band, the ultimate party starters in Ohio and beyond. Picture this: 2 electrifying vocalists, a powerhouse rhythm section, and a horn ensemble that will blow you away. That's right, the Perfect Choice Band isn't just another cover band. We're here to transport you to the heart of the party with unforgettable renditions of your favorite hits. From classics to chart toppers, we've got your playlist covered. Our mission? To keep you singing and dancing until the stars fade into dawn. So, why settle for ordinary when you can have extraordinary? Call 440-346-5242 or visit us at perfectchoiceband.com to book the ultimate entertainment experience for your special day. The Perfect Choice Band, where every moment is music to your ears. Don't miss out. Book now and let's make memories together.
Hi, this is Richie Kotzen, and you're watching CMS TV.
Since we're talking about traveling, and I've made it very clear that I will not fly Southwest. I will not fly Spirit. I will not fly Frontier. I will not fly the Greyhound of the Sky.
Okay, yeah.
My number one choice, if I have to fly, is American, and my second choice is United. And if I have to take anything other than that, I'll reconsider whether I want to go at all. That's how bad.
Sure, I get it.
Because since the pandemic, there has been this uptick in problematic customers flying on planes.
Sure.
And typically it's a certain demographic that causes the problems because flight is so quote unquote inexpensive on these cut rate airlines.
Those damn Japanese.
The Swedes.
What? Would have sworn it was the Japanese.
So people who probably didn't fly years ago, they could afford to fly, and they seem to bring their personal habits with them on the plane.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, this one here happens to be an Australian, though.
Okay.
A problematic air passenger has been hit with an unusual form of punishment. He has to pay the airline for the cost of the fuel.
Okay.
According to the Australian Federal Police, a then 32-year-old man from Western Australia was disruptive on a flight headed to Perth to Sydney. As a result, the plane had to turn around and go back to Perth, which meant that the pilot was forced to dump some fuel to land. Now the passenger has been ordered to pay $5,806 back to the airline to cover the cost of the wasted fuel.
Yeah, good luck getting that.
The Perth Magistrate Court also fined him $6,055, meaning that his midair misbehavior has a total price of $11,861, like many times higher than whatever he spent on the ticket.
Yeah, like he's never going to pay it.
Mm-hmm. The incident should serve as a warning that criminal behavior on board could come at a heavy cost to the offender.
Mm-hmm.
It's far simpler to obey the directions of the air staff than cause unnecessary issues, which can end up hitting you in the pocketbook. Although the flight happened in September of 2023, it has taken about a year for the case against the unruly passenger to work its way through the legal system. Neither the man nor the airline was publicly named, nor was it specified exactly what he did to earn such a hefty penalty. The passenger pleaded guilty to 1 count of disorderly behavior on an aircraft and 1 count of failure to comply with safety instructions. While charging a disruptive traveler for the cost of the fuel is not a typical penalty, Other kinds of fines are more common. In 2021, the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration announced that they would be introducing a zero tolerance policy for flyers behaving badly on planes. That year, passengers were issued fines from a range of incidences on planes across the United States, including one passenger who attempted to enter the plane's cockpit and had to be restrained, and another one who punched a flight attendant in the face, sending them to the hospital. The more serious cases of the in-flight mischief are also reported to the Department of Justice. The single highest individual penalty has been $40,823, was issued to a traveler who brought their own alcohol on board and was intoxicated and attempted to smoke marijuana in the lavatory and sexually assaulted a flight attendant, all in a single flight. So not only was he drinking and smoking and trying to rape a woman, I'm assuming it's a woman, could have been one of the swishy faggots that were
right.
flights, but regardless, that's what these people who just can't behave themselves on a plane.
Yeah, I just don't get that. Why do you make any noise on a plane? I know and I mean, I used to drink heavily on those flights, but I mean, even that, I still was minding my own fucking business.
Well,
I never was like, "Hey, you fucking asshole," and punching people in the face on the plane or whatever.
No, just asking Bay Malmsteen.
Yeah.
Remember that whole incident where he was, that was the whole what was the line? You
something to fucking fury.
Yeah, you unleashed the fucking fury.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, I guess if you're on planes all the time, then maybe you get a little more comfortable. But yeah, I always just want to be left the fuck alone. Put on headphones, not even know that anybody's on it. I just don't. I don't like to be bothered. I think that's kind of my rule of life.
Well, I agree. I completely agree. And if and when I have a longer flight, typically I'll shell out the extra dollars to fly first class, so I don't have to be in the cattle car with the rest of
riffraff.
the riffraff, because it's just worth it to me to spend the extra dollars not to deal with the nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
People constantly getting up and they're constantly asking the flight attendants for various things, and they're just, I don't know, they're just intolerable.
Yeah, they are.
It's just like,
yeah, and now that you've made it as cheap as a fucking Uber, it's like it's even worse.
Yeah, so
you get the lowest element of humanity.
So all the foot rats now can fly for very cheap.
Well, it's amazing to me. I'm a big fan of X these days, and it is amazing to me how many fights there are on planes and in airports,
and cruise ships.
And cruise ships, yeah, the cruise ship thing. That has pretty much convinced me I'm never going on another cruise again.
Right.
Somebody will get thrown off of that shit. Somebody will get thrown overboard on that shit. That just seems fucked up, man.
I agree.
No, thank you.
Well, in other news, I don't know if you followed this. I actually got a couple of emails about this.
Okay.
And I came across it myself. This one just makes me laugh. A California state senator allegedly forced her chief of staff. Now, this is a state senator.
Mm-hmm.
She forced her chief of staff to engage in a sex-based quid pro quo relationship that left him with various bodily injuries, according to a lawsuit filed last week.
Bodily injuries?
Bodily injuries.
Okay.
Senator Marie Alvarado Gill. See if you can look her up. Marie Alvarado Gill, who recently switched from the Democrat Party to the Republican Party, is accused of sexual harassment, discrimination, retaliation, and violations of other state laws against her new former chief of staff, Chad Condit, who filed a civil lawsuit in Sacramento Superior Court. Condit, who is married, claimed that Alvarado Gil was, quote unquote, erratic, controlling, and imposed a, quote unquote, sexual dominating abuse of authority and power over him. This was a sex-based
Faggot.
This was a sex-based quid pro quo relationship of unwelcome advances in sexual behaviors coupled with punishment and flexing of power.
Wow.
According to their final encounter, Condit alleges that Alvarado Gil, now this deserves a drum roll. She forced him to perform oral sex in a car seat that left him with 3 herniated discs in his back and collapsed his hip
Oh my God.
from
Where's
having
this guy?
from having to twist and contort his body in the confined space in the car.
So in this whole mess, you couldn't say, "Hey, let's go get a hotel."
I'm just thinking they're in like a 2-seat car, and there's the console hump with the little glove box in between the seat, and he's like bent over the seat, got his face buried in her box.
Fucking ass sticking up in the air.
I can't even imagine the juxtaposition of her forcing him.
He's kind of wedged between the 2 seats and leaning one way to try and reach into her box.
Yeah, eat my box, bitch.
Trying to contort his arm a weird way to finger bang her a little bit as well. Here we go. Let's get in there.
I'm just trying to figure out what the situation was.
Holy shit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why didn't you tell her to flip over and stick her ass in her box up in the air? So she didn't fucking hurt your back, you dummy.
Well, I think the main thing here is that she forced him to do it. How did she do that? How did she force him?
First of all, he's lying. I'm looking at a picture of him. He's lying. He could have fucking punched her in the face and got out of the car.
Right.
Fuck out of here with that nonsense. Here's the deal. She promised him a fucking, a bill would pass or an advancement in his career or some bullshit like that if he ate her box well. So he did. And he was so dedicated to his fucking advancement that he fucking gave up a couple discs.
He has 3 herniated discs and a collapsed hip.
Collapsed hip. Jesus Christ. How do you get a collapsed hip from having sex and not fucking?
Because he had to.
What, did he get his hip like in between the seats and pulled the wrong way and it wouldn't give?
No, I can just imagine if he's like in the passenger seat, if she's such this strong woman, she's driving, of course. So the steering wheel is in her lap. She's got her skirt pulled up. So he's in the passenger seat and he's trying to contort over that little hump between the 2 seats and get his face down.
Yeah, no kidding.
I laughed my ass off thinking about how
he did this. Yeah,
he did this.
Maybe it was a stick shift and it just fucking torqued his back. 4th gear took him out.
Oh my God. And at what point you're just driving along in a car and she pulls over into like a parking lot or something, goes, my box.
Eat it.
Because I'm exerting my authority over you. Respect my authority.
At what point do you say, look, this ain't working? I mean, come on. We've all had that scenario, too, where you're trying to do something weird and it just ain't working, and you just fucking tell the chick.
Right.
This ain't working. Let's go get a fucking hotel somewhere, and I'll bang the piss out of you.
Right. Well, here's the thing. I mean, it says that this Condit guy is married, right?
Right.
Something tells me the jig was up with this. Maybe his wife found out or whatever, and then all of a sudden he starts claiming, she made me do it. She made me.
Mm-hmm. He was literally the man in the box.
He was the man in the box.
Yeah, I mean, this clearly that's what happened here. I don't give a shit what the story is. The real story is he was fucking this broad. She's married, he's married. They were fucking each other, and he got caught.
Right.
And he said, "Oh, she made me do it." And because he's a fucking cuck to his wife, he can't just tell her, "Yeah, I fucking cheated."
Right.
Instead, he's still trying to save the marriage somehow. Dude, It's up. It's over. Forget it. You're busted. You're done. You were eating this fucking senator's box, for God's sakes. There's no coming back from that in married land.
Right.
Just stop it.
Yeah. Condit claims he then used his injury as an excuse to refuse Alvarado Gil's demands for oral sex. Boy, she just liked to have her box licked.
No, she didn't like the dick much, just getting a fucking tongue up in there, and she was good.
Apparently so, which caused Alvarado Gil to become unhappy and threaten his job. You know, you haven't eaten my box lately. What's going on here?
Is this true? Is this the son of Gary Condit that killed Chandra Leverly? Allegedly?
I don't know if that's the case or not.
It's interesting.
Because it doesn't mention that in the story. You would think
they'd say that.
They would say that he's related somehow, but I don't think that's the case.
I also think that would have made this front page news.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Alvarado Gil allegedly retaliated and issued him a disciplinary letter accusing him of inappropriate behavior. Condit was then fired in December after making clear that the senator's advances were not welcome. How many times did you have your face up in her skirt? Well, I did it, but I didn't like it.
Yeah, you did.
And he was undergoing surgery on his hip, according to the suit. Alvarado Gil's attorney, blah, 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 said in a statement that the claims against the senator were false. Well, of course they were. A disgruntled former employee has fabricated an outlandish story presented without evidence to get payday, the lawyer said. We expect that the senator will be fully cleared of any wrongdoing of these bogus and financially motivated claims. The Senate has not been served in this matter, but we are in discussion with the council to assess the next steps. Secretary of State told the media the Senate takes all complaints incredibly serious, but is unable to comment on matters involving pending litigation.
Well, according to our chat room, and he put a link in here. I'm trying to get to it to see. I'm not disabling my ad blocker. It is Gary Condit's son.
Really? Okay.
Surprised it's not bigger news.
Yeah, I know it didn't mention that in part of the story, like there was anything related to this.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, well, there you go.
Yeah, like father, like son.
Yeah, no shit. At least he didn't kill her.
Right.
Allegedly.
Right.
Are you going to wrap this up with Dave Grohl since people are still asking about this?
All right. Well, let's wrap this up with Dave Grohl.
All right.
So Dave Grohl admits to becoming a father to a baby born outside of his marriage.
Yes.
The Foo Fighters singer Dave Grohl, well known for his reputation as the quote unquote the nicest guy in rock, has admitted to becoming the father to a baby born outside of his marriage. The former Nirvana drummer, 55, said he plans to be a loving and supportive parent to his new daughter in an Instagram post on Tuesday. Why are you putting this out on Instagram?
See, this and keep reading, and then I'll answer that.
Grohl, who shares 3 daughters with his wife of more than 20 years, said he loves his family and is doing everything I can. This is the worst part right here. I can to regain their trust and earn their forgiveness. You know what, dude? My suspicions, this is my personal opinion. This isn't the only chick you ever banged on the road.
No.
Are you fucking kidding me?
You were in Nirvana and then the Foo Fighters. There's pussy lined up to suck your dick.
You've been banging chicks on the road forever. I guarantee it.
Fuck yes. And here's my theory on why this is out there. Because he knew it was coming. He's trying to do damage control. This is Tiger Woods 2.0.
Yeah, I agree with that.
This is just Tiger Woods 2.0. There's going to be a laundry list of broads from Denny's and from the hotels that were cleaning ladies and whatever that he's been fucking.
Right, of course.
Stop with this. I've been faithful other than this one girl.
Yeah, this was just my one slip up in all these years.
Yeah.
In the last 2 decades, this is the first and only time I ever did this.
I've been uber famous since 1992 or whatever, but I've only slept with my wife for 20 years. Get the fuck out of here.
Right. I recently became the father of a new baby daughter born outside my marriage, he wrote in the post. I plan to be a loving and supportive parent to her. I love my wife and my children. I'm doing everything I can do to regain their trust and earn their forgiveness, he added. We're grateful for your consideration toward all the children involved as we move forward together. What does that even mean? Your consideration toward them?
You know how much consideration I had toward Dave Grohl's children before I read this story? None. Because I didn't even know they existed.
Right.
Who gives a shit? And this is the problem with these fucking celebrities. Why is this on fucking social media? This sounds like a private matter between your wife and you. Unless you're worried about it getting out on TMZ that you were banging an 18-year-old potentially before she was 18. And that is the real story that I've been hearing a lot of. I don't know if it's true or not.
It's consenting adult.
Well, the story that's floating, and again, I don't know this is true or not, and
Allegedly.
This is very allegedly, is that the girl that had the baby, Grohl, is like 19.
Okay.
And Grohl has known her for years.
All right.
Years, plural. And there's not a lot of years, plural, you can have in there where she's not illegal, where she's not jailbait. So, who knows? You know, I just think there's somebody knows something that hasn't dropped the bomb yet.
Right.
I don't know if it's TMZ or somebody like TMZ or whatever, but you know, Grohl's fucked. Why is he putting out this bullshit about his wife and his, we're going to regain trust? Stop with all that horse shit. Just stop with that. Just say, look, I fucked up. Isn't that what he's really, if he needs to say anything, that's what he needs to say.
But why do you have to make a public statement at all?
You don't. It's your personal life. You know what? Bad song guy, write a bad song about it. I fucked a teenager again, or whatever. I mean, fuck. Enough with this. For me personally, I couldn't be more happy that this guy's fucking having a problem. I kind of hope that this is what takes him out of the limelight. Because every time I see him, he's just sickening.
Right.
And I know I mentioned it at the beginning of the show. I'll mention it again. He's one of these assholes that was out there preaching for the fucking vax.
Right.
And once he started preaching for the vax, fuck him. Simple as that. Fuck him.
It's just so, again, it's just this. And again, I'm going to agree with what you just said. There's more to the story, guarantee it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is trying to soften the blow
Yeah.
when it finally lands, whatever that might be. So, yeah, again, it's just like, why are you making this a public thing?
Yeah.
Why are you commenting on this on social media?
Because he's trying to get out in front of it and trying to be the good guy. He's trying to not Tiger Woods it. The way Tiger Woods did it, Tiger was immediately the bad guy.
Right, of course.
And he's trying to get out there and say, well, I acknowledge my mistake, but oh my God, I'm gonna raise this child so well, and this is one of my children that will get the equal care and love. And he's trying to put all that bullshit out there so that when it comes out that it is a 18, 19-year-old waitress from a fucking Denny's in Duluth or wherever the fuck it is, it's not going to look as bad.
Right, of course.
That's what I'm assuming he's trying to do here. But what a fucking dumb thing.
Well, I agree with you. All right. Well, you want to do one short more story and we'll cut out of here?
Yeah, it's fine with me.
All right. Well, since we're broadcasters and both you and I have broadcast on terrestrial radio. Mm-hmm. Well, terrestrial radio, as most everybody knows, or at least people who listen to this show anyway, they're well aware that that's kind of a thing of the past.
Right.
No longer a viable entity.
Okay.
As far as like money making, everything. If there's still terrestrial radio out there, you don't have highly paid, quote unquote, air talent anymore.
Yeah, there's no more Howard Sterns.
No, it's over. That's a bygone era.
It's gone. Yeah.
Well, one of the main rock stations, one of the most infamous rock stations in Los Angeles, KLOS FM.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, they apparently got rid of their morning show.
Really? Was that the Bird Show?
No, that they're out of Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Radio host Kevin Ryder and Doug, quote unquote, Sluggo Roberts are fired from KLOS FM.
Oh my goodness.
Los Angeles classic rock station KLOS FM 95.5, because I've listened to that many years. Mm-hmm. When I lived there, I listened to KMET, KLOS, KNAC.
Sure.
KCAL. Those were all my stations I listened to. Classic rock station KLOS 95.5 has fired its afternoon host Kevin Ryder and Doug Sluggo Roberts. Ryder confirmed the duo's ouster on Friday on social media, making sardonic references to a marketing initiative the station recently launched. Ironic time to start a Where's Kevin campaign, formerly known as Twitter. He put this on X. In the Instagram video, Ryder posted several people, including one man looking under his desk, are showing and asking, "Where's Kevin?" The video then cuts to Ryder pulling a pint of ice cream and other goodies out of a freezer. "Well, I'm not there anymore," the host said on the camera. "KLS fired me." Direct messages to Ryder and Roberts were not returned, and a representative for KLOS or its parent company could not be immediately reached. Ryder has been a fixture on the local radio waves for decades. He was previously with KROQ, where he helmed the morning program, Kevin and Bean, for roughly 3 decades. I think we actually covered them one time.
I remember Kevin and Bean.
Did one of their shows with his longtime partner, Gene Bean Baxter. After Baxter retired in 2019, Kevin and Bean was renamed Kevin in the Morning with Allie and Jensen, after his show co-host Allie McKay and Jensen Karp. But in March of 2020, Ryder and his team were abruptly fired from that station. Ryder made his comeback the following year with his hiring at KLOS, where he joined Roberts, who arrived at the station in 2019. Burbank-based KLOS has been on the air since 1960s. It was sold to an investor and entrepreneur, Alex Muriel's Mural Media in 2019, paying $43 million to the previous owner, Atlanta-based giant Cumulus Media.
Okay.
Muriel's holding includes several other local outlets such as hip hop stations, KDAY and KPWR, Power 106. Terrestrial radio, while long a signature feature in LA's heavy commute, has come under serious financial pressure in recent years, thanks to competition from streaming music services and podcasting. Earlier this year, Muriel Media made cuts to its Los Angeles stations, eliminating midday hosts. Speaking to Variety, Ryder made reference to rumors that Muriel is looking to unload its radio properties, including KLOS. I hope they sell it to somebody who cares about it. Well, what's the who cares?
Yeah,
You can care about it all you want. There's no audience for it.
Yeah, if nobody's listening to it, who gives a shit who buys it?
I mean, it's sad to see, an iconic station like that go to the wayside, but times they are a changing. Isn't that what Bob Dylan said?
Mumbled.
Bring it all back around to our subject. Times they are a changing. I mean, it's already been 4 or 5 years already that the Loop here in Chicago got sold and changed to a religious
Spanish or something, isn't it? Or
Spanish religious. I think it's a religious station.
Right.
That's an iconic station. How long do you think WMMS, the flagship of rock in Cleveland, how long do you think they'll be around?
It's almost all talk now.
Is it?
Well, you got Rover in the morning, got Alan Cox 3 to 7, and you got I think they play music in the middle, but
okay.
I don't know. I haven't listened in fucking forever and ever.
Right.
I don't know what they're doing exactly, but I know that Alan Cox has been there for 15 years and Rover's been there for at least 10 to 15. So, that's 6. Well, Rover would be 4, I would imagine, and Alan Cox is 4 or 5. So that's 8 hours of your programming day. That's half the day.
Right.
Yeah, whatever. What do you need a radio for? You got fucking Spotify.
That's my point. It's just like it's a dead medium. It's something from the past. It doesn't really have any bearing on anything anymore.
I mean, it is still startling to see the numbers though, because the numbers in cars are still like 75-80% of people listening to terrestrial radio. It is staggering when you see that, when you see like polls and whatever of what people are listening to. I would think by now, where every car has Bluetooth, every car made in the last 5 years has Bluetooth in it, as well as a auxiliary cable. I can't believe that people would get it. I can't believe people would have an iPhone in their pocket, a Spotify subscription, and not get in their car and use it. Instead, turn it on to fucking Bill and the Hobo in the morning or whatever fucking bullshit show they're listening to. What is the purpose of that? So stupid.
I agree. Well, I just remember when I picked up my new Camaro back in December, and the salesman wanted me to quote unquote activate my Sirius XM radio.
Yeah.
And so, they dialed up the Sirius XM operator on the phone. And the guy said, okay, I need to, get your car information, get your Sirius XM, number,
model number, or whatever,
model number, blah, blah, blah. He goes, now all I need to do is get your credit card. I said, what do I need that for? Well, to activate this. I said, well, I thought it was free. I thought it was 6 months for free. Well, we can activate it, but, we need your credit card. I said, well, I'm not going to renew it. So why do you need my credit card?
Yeah.
I said, I have no intention of keeping this once the free subscription runs out.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Have a nice day. Click.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Well, and even they're doing free now. I don't know if you saw that. Like you could for your car if you wanted to. You could sign up for a free Sirius account and you could get like 20 of their stations for free.
Okay.
If you wanted their music thing or whatever, but it's still
Sure.
it's loaded with commercials. So
Right.
amazing that they've come all the way to doing commercial radio on XM. Great.
That was the whole thing about XM is you didn't have to have commercials.
Yeah. Now it's just a waste of time.
Right. Which goes back to the subject we covered a couple of weeks ago that they're hiring these podcasters for $125 million. You know, it's like, where in the hell is all that money coming from?
Don't know.
Holy shit.
I get how like a Spotify does it because if you do the math, it's pretty easy. I mean, Spotify has like 20 million active subs.
Yeah, but
paying subs times $10 a month.
Paying for this. Who's still paying for satellite radio?
Yeah, I don't get that at all.
What do they offer you that you can't get anywhere else?
Nothing. I think it was so good before that people still are holding on to it, and it used to be good.
Yeah.
That's what I did. Remember I told you I bought it I got it. I didn't buy it, but I got it from my kid.
Yeah.
For Christmas, and I listened for a month. I was like, there is nothing here for me. I called him back and I got a refund on it.
Right. My nephew always jokes with me. He always sends me a text like over like 4th of July or Labor Day or Memorial Day holiday when they give you 100% free Sirius XM.
Right.
And he'll send me a text saying, don't forget to tune into your free XM this weekend.
Yeah, sure. Let me jump right on that.
Yeah, well, don't forget to tune in for that free XM.
Well, considering that XM or Sirius XM has the ads and everything in it, how is it better than TuneIn or iHeart? Those are exactly the same, except you don't have to have a subscription.
Right, of course.
They're exactly the same. If you want talk, it's there. If you want music, it's there. You want 80s, it's there. 90s, whatever.
Right.
You know, it's like, why would you pay now? It makes no sense other than it's easier, which it's not. That's the worst part. I always found SiriusXM, I always found that to be the worst part about them was dealing with them. It was tough to sign up. It was tougher to cancel. It's always a pain in the dick.
Yep, I didn't. Like, no thanks.
Yeah, well, I'm done with them. I'll stick to the podcasts.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, I say we call it a night.
All right.
Appreciate everybody who's tuned in and all the people who listen to us through the various mediums out there, all the rumblers and people through our radio affiliates.
Yes, thank you.
KRFK Radio and the
our own network, our own
network, everybody who listens to the replays and all that good stuff.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm going to assume we're going to be back next week as long as Chris stays healthy since he seems to get sick all the time.
All the time. And
and
on the week that you're not going to be in, which is 2 weeks from now?
Yes.
I have a co-host and I am going to do a drunk show. So
all right.
I will be drinking all that talk that I said about I haven't drank in 3 months. I will be drinking in 2 weeks right here on this program.
And who would you be your co-host?
Who do you think?
If
it's going to be a drinking show, it's got to be John. Yeah, it's got to be John. So.
All right. Fair enough.
But yeah, I talked to John earlier today, or earlier in the week rather, about doing. It's going to be video only. I'm telling everybody now, it's not going to do music. I'm not going to play music. I'm just going to do the video side of it and like it or lump it.
So you're going to have a secondary camera set up?
He's going to be at his house.
He's going to do his place?
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
That's the easiest way to do it.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. We will be back next Saturday. We will do this thing all over again. So until next Saturday, this is Neeley along with my very good friend
Chris Hagan.
And we're gone.
See you, kids.
We've all been there. Heartbreak, loss, and the struggle to move on. But few have laid it all bare like Chris Aiken. In Little Victories, Chris shares his raw and powerful journey through a brutal divorce. Every painful moment, every emotional battle, and every step toward healing is captured in this honest, unfiltered story. If you've ever been through a tough breakup, Little Victories is the guide you need. Get your copy today at chrisaiken.net or on Amazon.